Okay. So first inequality. Do we have y all by itself? No, we don't. What do we have to do, Javier? Okay.
Is greater than 1.
Okay, so what am I going to do here?
Oh, okay. So this is, okay.
Am I going
I'll
to?
add.
Very good. I'm going to add 3x to both sides because I want y to come first. So y is greater than 3x plus 2. Y is greater than 3x plus 2. Okay. So I'm going to write that again in black just because it shows up better. Y is greater than 3x plus 2. So the first thing I want to do is identify my slope. Ooh, what's my slope? What does m equal? M is the number attached to the x. 3. What is my y-intercept? 2. Look at the inequality. Does it have a bar underneath it? No. So that means that this is going to be a dash line. Am I going to shade above or below? So let's go ahead and graph this first one. Okay. Let's graph this first one. So I'm going to begin at 2. I always begin on the y-axis, positive 2. My slope of 3 means to do what exactly? Up 3 to the right one. I heard that. Thank you. Up 3 to the right one. Up 3 to the right one. If I can't go up anymore, can I go back to where I started at 2 and go down 3 and to the left one? Down 3 and to the left one. Down 3 and to the left one. I just try to put as many points on my coordinate grid as possible. So that way when I dash my line, I kind of stay, I have like a dot to dot to follow, right? So I'm going to join these points with slashes. I'm going to make my dashed line. Okay. I'm shading above. It says that I need to shade above, meaning the y-axis or the y numbers that are above the line. So the y values that are above my line are right here. That's the area that I'm going to shade. Okay. So I'm going to shade this whole area right here above. Okay. All right. Next equation or inequality. 3y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 6. What am I going to do there? Yeah, divide everything by 3. So y is less than or equal to negative 2/3 x minus 2. Jaden, what is my slope? What's my number attached to my x? Right here. What's that number?
Negative 2/3.
Yeah, negative 2/3. That's my slope. What's my y-intercept, Garrett? Negative 2. I'm going to have a solid line or a dashed line. Solid. Am I going to shade above or below? Below. So S solid, B below. So I'm going to begin at negative 2 on the y-axis. And then my slope is negative 2/3. That means I go down 2 and to the left 3. Down 2 and to the left 3. Garrett, is that you making side comments up there? Shut it. Oh, what did I say? I'm sorry. I thought you were just being funny. My bad. Sorry, Garrett. Okay. So solid line or dash line? Solid, we said, right? Connect your points with a nice solid line. And are I shading above or below? Looking for another highlighter. So can you guys see the overlap area? You see the overlap region that represents your solution set? Put an S in it so you can identify it. That's your solution area. Put an S in there. So Xavier, it is the ordered pair 5, 1. So find that point on your graph, the ordered pair 5, 1. Is that in the solution area? No, it's not. When I plot that point, sometimes it's a good visual, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. I see that this is not a solution in S, not a solution. Okay. Questions? All right, I'm going to freeze that there for a second for those of you that need it to catch up. And I'm going to move on to the next one.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
That paper I'm supposed to give you that needs to get signed.
The hard card?
Yeah, I don't know where.
I don't have any more. I'll write you a pass to go down to the office and grab one. Okay. When we're all done.
What
Because
are they
these
called?
are already filled out. I don't know. We'll get it in a minute. Okay. We got plenty of time, but not really. They're due tomorrow. You know that, right? Okay. Ready? Here's the next one. So let's look at y minus 5 is less than 1/2 x. What do I need to do to get y all by itself, Paula? What do I need to do? Add 5 to both sides. Excellent. So y is less than 1/2 x plus 5. What is my slope, Angelina? 1/2. Good job. What is my y-intercept, Kanaya? Perfect. Cheyenne, solid line or a dashed line y? Because Javier, is that you? Stop. I just need you to stop. Am I shading above or below? What do you think? Below, because the less than. Where am I going to begin, Will, when I graph this? Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the y-axis. Slope of 1/2. Up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Continue that pattern. You can also go back to your 5 and go down 1 and to the left 2. Dash line. And I'm shading below. Shading below. For this next inequality, I want to try and use the cover-up method. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember the cover-up method? Because that's typically how we solve real-world inequality systems, right? Typically, our equations are given to us in standard form. So I want to talk about the cover-up method. So remember, when we think about the cover-up method, it's really just using intercepts. We just call it the cover-up method. So if I wanted to find the x-intercept where it crosses the x-axis, I have to let y equal 0. So I'm just going to cover it up. What inequality do I have? What does that statement up there say? 4x is less than 16. Let's solve that. 4x is less than 16. I want to get x all by itself, so I need to divide both sides by 4. So x is less than 4. I'm just going to go to the x-axis and plot the point 4 on the x-axis. I'm going to plot a point 4 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to use the cover-up method again, and I want to find the y-intercept, I have to let x equal 0. So I just cover it up. What inequality do I have there? Yeah, negative 8y is less than 16. Divide both sides by negative 8. Uh-oh, what happens when I divide by a negative? Flip the inequality. Y is greater than negative 2. So I'm going to go to the y-axis, and I'm going to plot that point at negative 2. I'm going to connect these with a dashed line because neither one of these have a bar below it. So I'm going to just put a dashed line on there. How do I know where to shade? That's the question, right? So let's go back to the x one. I need to shade all of the x values that are less than 4. So if I look at my x-axis, what side is that? Which side is all the x values less than 4? Is it going to be on the right side of the line or the left side? All of the x values that are less than 4. Jordan, look up at the screen. If I need to shade the x values that are less than 4, am I going to shade on the right side or the left side? Is this number right here less than 4 on the x-axis? Yeah, I'm going to shade on the left. Okay. Now let's look at the y. For the y, it says I'm shading all values that are greater than what? Negative 2. That's on the same side. Do you guys see how that works? So you're shading above. You're actually shading above it. So the overlap, the solution is the spot where the two systems overlap, or the two inequalities overlap. So this is my solution area. Pardon me? Like the worked for it? Oh, you mean the front page one? Yeah. The only other thing I'm going to do here is write what inside my solution area? An S. So is the ordered pair, question says, is the ordered pair negative 2, negative 3, that's this point right here, is it a solution? Why? Because it's a dashed line. It's no solution because, trying to write, are you good with that up there, Kanaya? So that negative 2, negative 3 is not a solution because the line is dashed. Because the line is dashed. It's not a solution because the line is dashed. Okay. We have one more to do, and I'm going to add an inequality to it. I'm going to add one because I want to create a shape. It's a question that you might see on your test. So I want you to have one, that an example to work from. Okay. Are we good to go? Anyone still need this? Because if not, I'm going to flip it. Okay. So here we are. The first thing that I want to do is I want to add an inequality on here, and I'm going to write it at the top. I want to add the inequality y is less than or equal to 6. Everybody write that inequality up there. We're just going to start with that one. That's going to be our first one. Y is less than or equal to 6. So what can you tell me about that? It's horizontal. What else can you tell me? Is it going to be solid or dashed? Okay. I'm going to shade above or below. Below. So I'm going to go to where y is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to just draw a horizontal line. And I'm going to shade below that. Okay. Questions about that one? All right, how am I going to get y all by itself here? Subtract 2x from both sides. So negative, yes, ma'am. Negative y, is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 4. And then Cheyenne said divide everything by negative 1. Cheyenne, when I divide by a negative, what does that make me do? That means I have to flip my inequality sign. So y is greater than or equal to 2x minus 4. Y is greater than or equal to 2x minus 4. What is my slope? M equals 2. What is my y-intercept? I'm going to have a solid line or a dashed line. Shade above or below. Good job. So I'm going to begin at negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, 2 to the right 1. I'm also going to go back to negative 4 and go down 2 to the left 1. And I'm going to join all these points with a nice solid line. And when I have to shade above, I'm shading the y-axis above the line. I'm shading the y values that are above my line. So that's this area right here. Okay. Our last inequality, what are we going to do to get y all by itself here? Say again, Garrett. Yeah, subtract 5x from both sides. So I have 3y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 9. Now what? Divide both sides by 3, every single term. Y is greater than or equal to negative 5/3 x plus 3. What is my slope? Yes, negative 5/3. Good job. What is my y-intercept? So solid line or a dashed line? Ooh, solid. Yeah, good job. Shade above or below? Above. So I'm going to begin at positive 3 on the y-axis, and then I have to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Garrett, I'm sorry about calling you out on that last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I can't go down anymore. I'm going to run off my graph, but I probably can go back to b equals 3 and go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to try to connect these with a solid line. And because I'm shading above, I'm going to shade the region above the line, the y-axis above the line. So that's this right here. This is above my line. So hopefully you can see that I have a region that has been transformed into a what? What's my solution area look like? What is this space? Yeah, it's a triangle. Good job. It's a triangle. So a lot of times you will have a question that says, what is the area of the region? Whoops, it's ION. Sorry, I'm looking for whiteout. What is the area of the region created by the 3, these are called boundary lines. What is the area of the region created by the 3 boundary lines? Well, I know that my shape, you guys told me, is a triangle. And so the area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. Can someone tell me what the base measure is and what the height is? I'm going to leave that there for a second so you can write that down. Say again, Cheyenne. Is your height 20? Let's look at it. I'm going to go up here. Remember when we did coordinate grids and we did coordinate proofs, like we were proving shapes? We said that the height is always perpendicular to the base. We talked about that. So this is my height right here. And I'm just talking about this shape. So I have to figure out how high it is from here to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my height is 6. My base is this measurement going across this way. What is my base measurement? It's 7. So I'm going to go back to my equation. I'm going to go back to that formula that we used for the area. And I know that my base, which is 7, times my height, which is 6, divided by 2 equals 21 square units. So this is the type of question that I would put on your test for graphing inequality systems, because this is kind of like a real world situation, okay?